Let's talk about whether the tall asparagus seed a big scam seed, even though it's multi-harvest. I'm leaning hard into the idea that it's a letdown, but I'll give both sides a fair shake to spark some debate. So, grab a cozy seat, maybe a snack, and let's break this down nice and slow. What's your take on this one? This might sound really amazing because every week, there is always a brand new event being released, whether it's a new NPC, new seed, or whatever that is. But then, this time, would I really say that this is a big scam? Or even worse, a big mistake? And now I will tell you about what's up with this tall asparagus seed, because nobody seems to talk about this. But this is honestly important. The tall asparagus seed sounds promising at first. It's a multi-harvest crop, meaning you plant it once and keep harvesting over time. You can grab it from the gourmet seed pack or trade for the crops with a trading ticket. Each fruit sells for a surprisingly low chunk, around 20,000, 60,000 shekels base. But here's the catch. You can only harvest one fruit at a time. Does that sound like a deal breaker to you? Let's start with why I think the tall asparagus seed feels like a scam. That one fruit at a time limit is brutal. Other multi-harvest crops like sugar apples or bone blossoms give you multiple fruits per cycle, sometimes 4 or more. With tall asparagus, you're waiting around for a single stalk which takes ages to regrow. Why bother when you could be banking more with other crops? It's a question worth asking. The math doesn't help its case either. A sugar apple tree for 50,000 shekels yields 5 fruits at 48,000 shekels each. That's 250,000 per harvest. Tall asparagus at random chance gives you one fruit worth 20,000 minimum, maybe 100,000 with a mutation. You'd need dozens of harvests just to make something out of it. Is the game tricking us into sinking shekels into a bad investment? It feels that way to me. Then there's the growth time. Tall asparagus takes a long time to produce each stalk, even with a Grandmaster sprinkler. Compare that to bone blossoms, which you can farm through event quests and harvest multiple fruits faster. Sure, asparagus is multi-harvest, but waiting for one fruit at a time feels like watching paint dry. Are the devs banking on us not noticing the slow returns? It's hard to ignore. The cooking event, running until August 16, 2025, makes it worse. Tall asparagus is a divine tier crop, so you'd think it'd shine in recipes for prismatic rewards. But you need multiple ingredients for dishes, and harvesting one stalk at a time slows you down. Why struggle when crops like violet corn or sugar glaze give you more bang for your buck? Doesn't that make tall asparagus feel like a trap? Now, let's assume the seed isn't that bad. The multi-harvest aspect is a plus, right? You plant once, and it keeps giving, unlike single-harvest crops like bamboo. If you stack mutations like gold or celestial, that 20,000 shekel fruit could hit millions. With a Grandmaster sprinkler, you might get bigger stalks too. Could this be a long-term investment worth chasing? Or is that just wishful thinking? The rarity of tall asparagus also has some appeal. It's not as common as strawberries or grapes, so selling mutated stalks can fetch a premium in trades. On Discord, players sometimes trade them for decent shekels or other rare crops. Maybe it's a status symbol, like owning a shiny pet. But is that enough to justify the cost and effort? I'm not convinced. The mutation potential is another argument in its favor. With pets like the Disco Bee or Mooncat, you can add disco or rainbow mutations, pushing a tall asparagus fruit's value way up. A celestial mutated stalk could theoretically sell for billions, but you're still harvesting one at a time, so the payouts stretch thin. Is the mutation dream worth the wait? Or is it just hype? The Robux factor adds fuel to the fire. You can skip growth timers with Robux, but that costs real money. 39 Robux per skip. If you're trying to speed up tall asparagus harvests, you could spend a fortune. Compare that to the volcano event, where burning buds dropped during admin events for free. Is the tall asparagus seed designed to push microtransactions? That's a hard question to dodge. On the flip side, it's not locked behind a paywall. You can grind shekels by selling mutated crops and trading for it, or grinding cooking event. It's accessible if you're patient. Some players say the one-fruit limit forces you to plan strategically, like timing harvests with weather events for mutations. Could that be the real challenge here? Or is it just a fancy excuse for a bad deal? The community's buzzing about this one. Some players love tall asparagus for its steady, low-maintenance harvests. They'll plant a few and let them run while focusing on other crops. But others are furious, calling it a scam seed that wastes plot space and shekels. Discord's full of debates about whether it's worth it. Who's right? The grinders or the skeptics? It's a tough call. My take? I think the tall asparagus seed is a scam in disguise. The one fruit at a time limit kills its value compared to multi-fruit crops like sugar apples. It's too expensive, too slow, and too underwhelming for the effort. I'd rather farm bone blossoms or trade for burning buds. Why settle for a single stalk when you could be stacking millions? That's where I'm at. But there's room for debate. Maybe the tall asparagus is a sleeper hit for patient players who love tweaking their garden for mutations. Maybe it's a niche crop that shines in the right hands. Or maybe it's a cleverly disguised money sink. What's the real story here? Is it a scam, or are we just not seeing its potential? So, what do you think? Is the tall asparagus seed a big scam, luring us in with multi-harvest hype only to deliver one measly fruit at a time? Or is it a misunderstood gem that rewards the dedicated? I'm sticking with it being a bad deal, but I want to hear your thoughts. Have you made bank with tall asparagus, or are you done with it? Anyway, like and subscribe for more content.